Hey everyone, welcome to Evanston Happy Hackers. It's December 7th, it's about noon, 2024. What's up? I'm here with, guys, okay if I use your names?
Yeah.
Big Mac.
Here with Big Mac and Hassan, and myself, Henry, and we just did some MacBook repair. I couldn't really record that. I guess I could have, but...
What is that from? Forget what movie?
I don't know.
Yeah.
What's up? So yeah, I'm just going through the MacBook repair example. I have a solution that I had ChatGPT write, but we're not going to use that. I'll put a link later too. But we're just coding this by hand right now. For some context, this is a command line tool that's meant to help you calculate how profitable MacBook repairs are, and it lets you enter data manually, or it lets you import it from a CSV file. And I even added tab autocompletion too. But if you choose the CSV file, then it'll output a graph of your profit margins, and it does the same thing for if you just enter in data manually. But we're going to try to replicate that. We only have 30 minutes, so we won't get that far, but I think getting the basic skeleton will still be possible. So if you want to get a piece of data from the user on the command line, you can use a function called input, and you run the program, you type in some stuff, press enter, it'll print out the stuff, which is great. So what we can do is change this message to say, can just have some print statements that say, welcome to our MacBook repair profit calculator. 1, open a file. Change this to a print statement. 1, open a file. 2, enter data. And I think if you already know Python, I would actually recommend either using code you already know works or generating it with AI, because it's just so much faster. But if you're still learning programming, I wouldn't recommend using it because you won't understand why things work the way that they do. So, once we get the data, we should check to see if it's a 1 or a 2. We can just say if my var is equal to 1. And we'll just see if this works. And then we can check to see if it's 2. We'll print chose 2. And then I'll have an else that catches the case that they don't choose either of the 2. And I'll just say invalid choice. And this is a pretty simple pattern for handling input. If you look at other command line tools that are very simple, you probably see something really similar. Hassan, do you have any questions so far? Is this boring? Because I'll go faster if it is.
No, it's fine. Take your time.
Okay. I get bored quick, so I like to see I like to speed to the end, but I'll keep going at the same. Oh, cool. Alright, it looks like it works just fine, so sick. So we can check to see if it's 1 or 2. So if it's 1, we should load a CSV file into a pandas data frame. And then if it's 2, we should enter data manually. So because we don't really know we kind of do know what data we need. MacBook cost, harvested part value, resale value, and overhead. So I guess, Hassan, which one do you want to see? Number 1 or 2? I could code either.
Let's do 2.
2? Okay, sick. So we need to get these different pieces of data. And
I live like in Humboldt Park. I don't know, maybe you could drop them off or something.
First, we're going to ask them how many MacBooks
That's fine.
they want to they're gonna
Okay, that works.
repair. So we're just gonna get a number from them. So I'm gonna say num MacBooks equals input number
Yeah, you can
of
tell me how it works.
MacBooks to repair. And then we're gonna make it an integer. And then we're just gonna print it just to make sure it's a regular value. Here's something really cool that I want to pause and sort of take a look at. If you want to use debug mode in PyCharm, there's this thing called the gutter, and it's where all the line numbers
Yeah,
live.
for sure,
And if
bro.
you click
I
on
need,
one of the
like,
line
30,
numbers,
but for now,
you
I'll
can
get, like,
set
10 or something.
a breakpoint. So if I right click on Mac Profit CLI and then click on debug Mac Profit CLI,
Okay, how many do you have? Like 10?
it'll put us into a debugger. And if we start executing this line of code that has a breakpoint on it, it'll
Yeah, let me
just
just
pause
grab 10 of those for
execution.
now. I'll probably grab another 10 like in a couple days.
So I pressed 2,
I just don't
and
want-
then I
want
pressed
there.
enter, and it paused on line 37. And we're about to ask the
Yeah, give me
user
10 of those
for the
and-
number of
and
MacBooks
the-
that they want to
the other
repair.
Type C tables too.
And if I click on resume program, I can type in 3, and now we can go to threads and variables,
You have none?
and we can look at all of the local variables. And I want you to notice that we just executed line 37, and num MacBooks is a string type. So if I want to type in like num MacBooks plus 1,
Mm-hmm.
we get an error. And that's
I mean, it's
because
just half
a
the
string
job,
is
though.
just a piece of
I'll
text.
still grab
Um,
it, honestly.
So if I type in int num MacBooks plus 1, then I get 4. The reason that I have line 38 is so that I can convert the string into an integer. And if I click on resume program, now num MacBooks got converted into an integer, so we can actually use it. And we're going to use it in a for loop.
Yeah, I'll grab all.
So we want to repeatedly ask the
Do you have any
user
96 or 140 or no?
these 3 pieces of information 3 times because we have 3 MacBooks. And we can just do that with a for loop. Let's say
We
for
get 5 with 96.
I in range
10
0
for
num
37.
MacBooks. I'm gonna call this MacBook ID.
Do you have 12? 87?
And now
Yeah,
we
I'll
can
grab-
just
I'll grab
ask
12,
them
yeah.
for these 3
I'll grab
pieces
all
of
those, and then
data.
we get 5 with 96.
And I'm just gonna copy and paste this.
Or sorry, 5 with 96.
And
I'll grab more. I just don't want to spend all
once
my
you have a
money.
useful pattern, you'll notice in coding you can kind of just copy paste stuff if you need to like repeat an operation.
Little price for those, and I also gotta buy the cables and stuff.
So once we have our 3 pieces of data, we want to store them in some way. I'm gonna store them in a list. I'm just gonna call it my data. I'm gonna make an empty list.
Yeah, and I'm grabbing like
I'm gonna
almost
call
30
this
cards.
single data and
You
make
don't have to do like 30
a
sales.
new
but
list
you
of
sell
MacBook
to me,
costs.
I'm helping you too, you know.
harvested part value and resale value.
I mean, I didn't get the price online yet. so
And I'm
can
also
you
gonna
get back
put
to you or something?
MacBook ID into the list too, because I want to be able to identify
like,
which
what-
MacBook
okay.
it is.
What do you usually sell the 61s for and 87s?
You can actually think of this as a
You want me to
single
check
row
online first
in
and
an
then I'll
Excel
let you know?
spreadsheet.
Is that cool with you? Yeah, okay. Yeah, let me just work out a price with you and then I'll come pick them up for you now. Okay, thanks, bro. There's about 30 chargers
Nice,
locally.
nice.
Just need some adapters, but I'll find them somewhere else.
Congrats.
Literally 30, it has 30 chargers in stock. I
Nice.
literally have like so many. I have like 200 laptops to have. Like I need chargers.
Nice.
I can hang out with you now.
So the next thing we're going to do is take this row and add it to all of our rows. So we can just say my data dot append single data. And I don't remember if append modifies the list itself or if it returns a new list. So I'm going to look that up. Good old W3 schools.
Those were the days, man.
Yeah.
Geeks for geeks.
Make sure, yep, this is still recording good. Okay, yeah. So it might be difficult to make all of these changes if you're not used to writing Python. If you don't feel comfortable making a for loop and then adding some operations and then making a new list in the middle of the for loop and then appending this new list to a bigger list, I would recommend doing those steps one by one and then putting like breakpoints in the gutter in PyCharm and then running it step by step. So you can just right click and then click on debug and just watch it work. So enter data. Don't care about these because we know it works. Click on resume. Gonna do 3 MacBooks. MacBook cost is 1,000. Harvested part value is 200. So we've got these 2 strings, which is really cool. If you hover over a variable, it'll show you the value. Alternatively, you can also go to threads and variables and see them here. And we're about to get the resale value, which let's say it goes for 2,000. And then we're about to declare a new array. And we just did. So single data has these 4 elements in it, which is really neat. So we're basically, I think I like to think about programming as, because everyone knows what an Excel spreadsheet is. People use them to do all sorts of different useful things. And I think if you think about programming as like manipulating an Excel spreadsheet, it's really easy to understand for most people. And then I'll hit the continue button, and now it's asking us for our second MacBook. So this is kind of hard to read because I don't realize that this is the first laptop it's asking about, and this is the second one. So I'm just gonna make like a little message. I'm gonna stop the program and make like a message that says,
You got this far.
yeah,
You're
you're now entering data. You're now entering data for MacBook ID. Have to use str to make it an integer. Or to make it a string, because it's currently an integer.
STR string.
Yeah. Like I said, Andy, words are hard. They're difficult. Okay. Close this. What else don't I need? Don't need this. Don't need this. Don't need this. Don't need this. I should have done streaming instead of recording. That's another thing. I have a restream.io is a site that lets you stream to multiple platforms. This is like the second time I've been using that, so it's kind of, I forgot that I was trying to use that. Anyway, back to the programming. Okay, I think we could just run this and see if enter data, We don't need to print it out twice. The print to do. Exit 1. 2 means you want to enter data. Number of MacBooks to repair. Sick. Okay, cool. So it tells you which MacBook you're entering stuff from, which is awesome. When we get the data and we make it into a row, and then we add it to our data, and then outside of the for loop, we're done gathering our data. We need to put it into a pandas data frame. So I'm just gonna import a library called pprint, and pprint is just, it helps you print out big lists of data so that you can look at them. Alternatively, you could just data. Alternatively, you can just like run it in debug mode and inspect it, but if you don't have debug mode, it can be sometimes easier to just use pprint. So yeah, if we look at my data, it's just, that's the ID, those are the 3 data values that they enter, and yeah, it looks like it's working just fine. So it's a list of lists. It's a 2-dimensional array, whereas each individual element is just a 1D array. And now I don't remember how to import a list of lists into Python, or into pandas, so I'm just going to look it up. But a lot of programming is just looking stuff up. This is AI generated. It might work. I'm just gonna see if it works. So the first argument to np.array is just some 2D array. My data is already a 2-dimensional array, so we can just use it. And then the first column is MacBook ID. The second column is MacBook cost. Third column is harvested part value. And the fourth column is resale value. I just had an idea, which is really useful, but if you want to make a library that other people can use, this is a fantastic example of something you could give to other people, because this is a problem specific for, this code is specific to like getting data from the command line that you type in and then putting it into like some data structure, and then maybe you could save it to Excel. If you could extract all of these variable names to a separate file, you could use that as a way to make a generic template for taking data for any list of parameters and just putting it into an Excel spreadsheet. So if you find a useful piece of code and you make it really generic, and you start to distribute it, and other people realize it's useful, you've just made a library. That's what a library is. It's just code someone else wrote. So yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
yeah. And if you're you know, if your classmate says like, hey, I have to, and someone has to type in a bunch of data on the command line for a school assignment. How the heck do I do this? You can just say, oh, I wrote something that already does it, you know. So
So useful.
yeah, it can end up being really, really useful.
You got Darth Vader, Star Wars, debit card.
Nice.
Yeah, I broke my other phone. It's like my Apple Pay. Or,
Stopped working.
Yeah, on that one. It's like manually add every card back on this phone.
Does sound pretty annoying.
It was. Every application, every login, every bank, every Gmail. Bro, I spent like 2 hours doing this shit.
Jeez.
Once you do it once, you forget about it, you know?
Yeah. You don't have to do it more than once. Okay, so we've got our data frame. It's useful. This main function is kind of bothering me because like it's getting kind of big. So it would be useful if I could take all of this code and put it into its own function. That's another thing that you'll notice as you start writing code is you'll want to take code and just put it into chunks that is reusable and easier to read. And making functions can, you know, can definitely do that. So I'm just gonna run this and see how it looks. Enter data, 2 MacBooks, 111, 222. Cool. It's definitely, this is when you print a data frame in Pandas, it kind of looks like this. It sort of looks like an Excel spreadsheet. And then this is just prints output, and then this is the data frame output. Yeah, it looks pretty normal. I'm gonna make a git commit because I've done some work. What have we changed? I guess we let people enter data manually. We haven't really done any analysis. Like we haven't calculated gross profits, and we haven't plotted a data frame, but those shouldn't be too hard to do. Let people enter in data. Option. Cool. Cool. Hassan, do you have any questions so far? Sick. Alright, so calculate gross profits for each repair and restore it in each data frame row. So I guess we could do this now. So yeah.
Sorry, I think I'm gonna go home.
Okay.
Freaking exhausted.
Okay.
Maybe hit me up later.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be.
Take a
I'm gonna
nap.
take a fucking nap.
Yeah.
Wake up and then get back to like. We're like a fucking dog.
Okay. Well, I think in that case, Andy, I'm probably gonna wrap up because I gotta leave in 5 minutes. Hassan, I think a cool take-home activity would be to take the code at this point and try to do this step 3 and see if you can do it. Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, I'll send you the link to it.
Sounds great.
And if anyone's watching this video, you can do the take home too. What you can do is go to github.com/meltingscales/Evanston Happy Hackers. Head to Mac Profits CLI, and then if you head to CP Mac Profits, I've made a file called .takehome.py that you can just use, and I'll send it to you. I'll put it on the YouTube video and also put it in the Discord too.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. If you get stuck, let me know. Just ping me. But
We're
yeah.
1 minute away. Alright, see you guys.
Andy, you got everything?
Yeah, I'm gonna grab my bag tonight.
You get stickers?
I got stickers.
Sick.
Thanks, man.
Been real, my man.
Have a good one.
You too. All right, thanks everyone for watching.